Hello, my name's Andrew and I'm a victim of v2k and what apparently is gang stalking, but I think that I think v2k is more likely. I think people get confused between the two. I just want to talk about when I first started to hear voices, um, and at the time I was taking drugs, I was taking amphetamines. And when you're on a downer on amphetamines, you feel bad. You feel really bad. And I just put it down to that. But then I started to hear voices and start to think that people were talking about me. I couldn't hear anything at that time, but I were thinking that they were talking about me. Someone from somewhere. And I started getting paranoid. And then I started to think that my girlfriend was involved, because when I very first started hearing voices I could hear sex sounds. Now I've always thought that that might be a way that the v2k broadcasters entice you into the land of fucking hell. Uh, and it progressed from there. I used to think that my girlfriend were hiding a Bluetooth device inside her because I could hear voices coming out of her belly. And there was one time when I was watching her and she was looking at me and I counted her blinking 300 times, but when she blinked I could hear the word blink. I always knew that sight triggers these sentences. You've got to understand how important that is, that sight triggers these sentences. I'm not too sure if this speaker works on this laptop properly, so I'm just going to carry on and hope for the best. Um, where were I? Oh yeah, and I were arguing with my girlfriend all the time, and there was one time when I were off, when we'd split up, and I remember shouting down the phone, "You fucking slag," like that. The next thing I know, I heard this voice saying, "You can't call her that. I'm Sergeant Slaughter." I thought, oh fucking hell. I wondered what were going on, and from then on it just got nastier. Welcome to the world's evilest radio station. You do a lot of it yourself, a hell of a lot. If you knew how much I'd written down and how much confusing it is, and how many times I've written 26 and how many times I've written out letters of the alphabet. But it is down to ultratone conversions. It's vocal that's condensed into fresh air. And what they do is, I've written it down, it sounds better than when I'm actually speaking, but I'm just trying to leave as many videos as I can, because I feel as if this is going to get out soon, one way or another. It's going to come out and these videos will be here to prove that it's been happening for a while. But if you to repeat the alphabet with vowels obviously in between the consonants, with the letters BL, they'll run through Spotlight processor and they'll be emitted everywhere, through loudspeakers, through mobile phones, through your speakers in your telly, through anything, and it reflects back and forth and it fills the air with the letter black. The letter black turns into a subconscious action that triggers the start of their sentences. And when you blink, it repeats repeats at the start of the sentence. You see, I've got it all written down. I've got here perps, ketone conversions, or disguise, or a disguised wavelength, which is furthered so by pulsars. I've also got 1 kilohertz exchanges. Now I've written down hertz, kilohertz, and it's in between all of them. It's a frequency that's written loads down. I need to get it right when I say it. The ketones, the conversions are from the speech, and I think they've got a little program running on maybe Sonar 7 software that can repeat letters of the alphabet over 5 streams, meaning over 5 separate versions of the alphabet, each containing a vowel that also contains the letters B and L. Now, once it's been played, recorded, you can send it straight through your internet radio or CB radio, and it becomes, well, how can I explain it? It goes through the processor, the spotlight processor, and when it reaches receivers and speakers, any speakers, loudspeakers, speakers on your mobile phone, etc., and it disperses these everywhere. Everywhere you look, it disperses them. So you've got 5 vowels and you've got 2 consonants, but you've also got what you're looking at, because sight gives you self-awareness. When you're looking at certain things, you're spelling it out. That's how you know where you are. You spell things out and you learn through colours and sound. But what I'm trying to say is that when the alphabet is converted into ultratones, that's what they become, tones that run through on frequencies that are already there. They piggyback on the frequencies that are already there. But when they hit receivers, they disperse everywhere. So if you can imagine just letters floating around you like as thin as cigarette smoke. And what they do is, very cleverly, in between there is the B and an L. Now, when you look at something black, you actually spell it black, or you subconsciously spell it. You know it's black because you learn when you're growing up what colours are. And when the BL reaches a level of sight, meaning the vowels that you actually breathe in are dispersed everywhere as well, all around you. And vowels is a subconscious action. Vowel is a breath that comes up, and a consonant is when you shape the form of your lips. Now, I shouldn't really be able to hear consonants because they're not coming from another human being. Well, they're coming from another human being, but you know what I mean. And somehow, between sight and the letter BL is an exchange. So you've exchanged letters of the alphabet and been consciously reminded by blinking, because blinking's got BL in it as well, that you need to search for black. Once you receive black and you subconsciously register black sight instructions all of the time, by the air around you, it fluctuates, the air around you, so it could be so loud 1 minute and loud the next. When traffic comes by and you've got BL tones everywhere within, then it rises, and it's a subconscious action. It's moving your lips. Vowels are breath. So I know. Oh, whoever so I'm basically saying you've got all these letters of the alphabet everywhere, and BL is perceived by the subconscious as a colour, because colour black is subconscious, the same as white. And just download this video.